Something is moving in the unseen right now, something you cannot touch, cannot calculate, cannot predict, but you can feel it. Deep in your spirit, you sense it, a shift, a stirring, a divine alignment. It is the quiet whisper that tells you you are closer than you think. And I want you to hear me today. God is sending favor to find you. Not someday far away, not when conditions are perfect. Right now, in this very season of your life. There are moments when God does not wait for you to reach the blessing. The blessing comes searching for you. You may feel forgotten, overlooked, stuck behind walls you can't climb, but the God who sees the end from the beginning is already sending what you need. He knows how to position the right people, the right opportunities, the right open doors at the exact moment you need them. But before favor arrives, God prepares the heart. And that preparation often looks like struggle. Some of you are walking through a season that feels like pressure, financial pressure, emotional pressure, spiritual pressure. It feels as if every direction is blocked. But remember this, before every breakthrough, there is a breaking. Before God brings you into the promise, He strengthens the character that will carry the promise. When the enemy tries to convince you that God is silent, God is actually working the most. There is a story of a man who had tried everything to provide for his family. Doors had closed. Opportunities dried up. Every time he took one step forward, life pushed him 2 steps back. One night in prayer, he whispered, "Lord, I'm tired, but I'm not quitting." Something powerful happens when a heart refuses to give up. The next morning, without warning, a phone call came, an offer, a position, a blessing he had never applied for. It came out of nowhere. It came directly to him, because favor doesn't need directions. Favor knows your address. Favor knows your situation. Favor knows exactly where you are. And someone listening right now, favor is already on its way to you. Sometimes God allows you to walk through a valley so you learn how to recognize His hand more clearly. If every season was easy, if every prayer was instantly answered, you would never come to know the depth of His faithfulness. The delay you're experiencing is not denial, it is divine preparation. God is shaping you into the person who can carry the magnitude of what He's about to release. Think about Joseph. He was chosen, favored, and destined for greatness, yet his path took him into a pit, then into slavery, then into prison. If you looked at his life at any moment, it would appear he was going backward. But every setback was a step toward positioning him for influence he never imagined. In one single day, just one, God raised him from the prison to the palace. Not because Joseph chased favor, but because favor chased Joseph. And in the same way, your breakthrough may not come gradually. It may come suddenly, instantly, unexpectedly, overwhelmingly, not by your effort, not by your connections, not by your striving, but by God's hand. There are people you have never met who are already speaking your name. There are opportunities forming behind doors you cannot see. There are solutions on the way for problems you have not even prayed about yet. When God releases favor, it bypasses every barrier, every limitation, every critic, every delay. It overrides what you think is possible. This is why you must stay in position. Many people give up one day too early, one prayer too soon, one step before the breakthrough arrives. Don't let discouragement rob you of what God has already ordained. When you feel weary, remember, your weariness is often a sign that you are close. The enemy fights hardest when he knows God is about to open something significant. You don't need to know how God will do it. You don't need to understand the timing. You don't need a full explanation. You just need to stay faithful, stay expectant, stay ready. When favor is coming, preparation becomes your responsibility. Prepare your mindset. Prepare your faith. Prepare your heart. Prepare your gratitude. Prepare your willingness to step into new territory. Sometimes God's blessing doesn't look like a blessing at first. It may look like a closed door. It may look like a painful ending. It may look like separation from certain people or situations. But later, when the fullness of the blessing unfolds, you will look back and say, God, I didn't understand it then, but you were preparing me. You were protecting me. You were positioning me. Your breakthrough isn't just about receiving something. It's about becoming someone, becoming stronger, becoming wiser, becoming surrendered, becoming aligned with God's purpose. God is not just sending favor to change your circumstances, He is sending favor to change you. And when the door opens, it will not be small. It will not be ordinary. It will not be something you could have accomplished by yourself. No. God is going to do it in a way that leaves no doubt in your mind, or anyone else's, that it was His hand at work. Some of you have been praying for a healing. Others have been asking for financial restoration. Some are believing for reconciliation, direction, clarity, or peace. Listen closely. God has heard every word. Not one tear was wasted. Not one silent prayer went unnoticed. Not one lonely night was forgotten. Heaven has recorded it all. And now the season is shifting. Breakthroughs do not come when your circumstances look ready. They come when you are ready. When your dependence is on God alone. When you stop calculating outcomes and start trusting His plan. When you are willing to let go of what you wanted so God can give you what you truly need. This is the hour to lift your head. This is the moment to strengthen your faith. This is the time to expect the unexpected. Because God is sending something to you. Something with your name on it. Something crafted for your future. Something that will break chains, restore hope, and rewrite your story. Favor is coming. Breakthrough is coming. Provision is coming. Strength is coming. Joy is coming. A new chapter is coming. And when it arrives, it will not be because you chased it, but because God sent it. So prepare your heart. Prepare your spirit. Prepare your expectation for the breakthrough you have been praying for. The breakthrough you've been waiting for. The breakthrough heaven has already assigned to your life is on its way. Favor is already moving toward you, even when you can't see it, and this truth becomes a powerful anchor when life feels uncertain or motionless. There are seasons when everything around you looks still, nothing is changing, nothing is shifting, nothing seems to be improving. You pray, but heaven feels quiet. You hope, but circumstances look the same. You stand in faith, yet it appears that nothing is happening. But in the unseen, in the places you cannot touch or measure, God is already orchestrating movement. He is aligning people, adjusting situations, preparing timing, and arranging details long before you ever witness the first sign of breakthrough. Just because you don't see progress does not mean progress isn't happening. God often works in silence, behind the curtain, in the background of your life. What looks still on the surface is often full of divine activity beneath it. When a seed is planted in the ground, nothing appears to be happening for a long time. Yet buried beneath the soil, roots are spreading, structure is building, and life is forming. If someone judged the seed purely by what they could see, they might think it failed. But time reveals what sight cannot. In the same way, what God is preparing for you is growing out of sight first. Favor doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it grows quietly until the moment God decides it is ready to be revealed. And when it appears, it often comes suddenly, as if out of nowhere. But it wasn't nowhere. It was simply hidden until the appointed time. There are moments when you feel overlooked, as though God has skipped over your life and moved on to someone else's. You watch others rise, others be blessed, others step into opportunities you've been praying for. But God's favor is not random, and it is never late. What is meant for you does not get lost. What God sends toward you cannot be intercepted by anyone else. It does not need your strength, your connections, or your constant striving to reach you. Favor has a divine assignment, and its assignment has your name on it. Even now, it is moving, traveling through situations you don't know about, being directed by the one who knows your beginning and your end. Think of how many times in your life something came to you unexpectedly. A job you didn't apply for, help you didn't ask for, encouragement you didn't search for, a breakthrough that arrived long after you had given up on it. These were not coincidences. They were moments where favor found you. And in the same way, even in this very moment, God is setting things in motion on your behalf. While you are waiting, He is working. While you are resting, He is arranging. While you are unsure, He is certain. Favor is not waiting for the perfect moment. Favor is preparing to create the perfect moment. You may not see it. You may not feel it. You may not understand how it could possibly reach you based on where you are right now. But God doesn't need visible pathways to deliver invisible blessings. Favor moves through places you cannot go, reaches people you do not know, and touches situations you cannot influence. It is already coming toward you, steady, intentional, unstoppable. Before every breakthrough, God prepares your character through pressure, and this truth is often difficult to embrace because pressure never feels purposeful while you're in it. You may be facing situations that squeeze your emotions, test your patience, and stretch your faith. It can feel as if life is pressing you from every side, relationships strained, finances tight, opportunities scarce, strength running low. But pressure is not a sign that God has abandoned you. It is a sign that He is shaping you. He prepares you for what He has already prepared for you, and that preparation often comes wrapped in challenges that reveal what needs to be strengthened, removed, or refined. Pressure exposes weaknesses you didn't know you had, but it also awakens strengths you never realized were within you. When everything is easy, you don't discover resilience. When everything is smooth, you don't learn endurance. When everything works out instantly, you never develop deep trust. So God allows certain seasons where you are stretched beyond your comfort zone. He permits moments that require a level of faith you have never exercised before. These moments are not punishments, they are preparation. They are the training ground where your spirit grows, your mind matures, and your heart learns to rely on Him in ways you never have. Think of a diamond. It begins as ordinary carbon, buried deep beneath the earth. But extreme pressure transforms it into something magnificent, valuable, and unbreakable. Without the pressure, the diamond never becomes what it was created to be. In the same way, the pressure you feel today is forming you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable of carrying the blessing God intends to release. If He gave you the breakthrough without the process, the blessing might overwhelm you instead of elevate you. God strengthens the vessel before He pours out the oil. There are times when the pressure feels unfair. You may wonder why you're experiencing more battles than others, why your journey seems harder, why your prayers take longer, why the road feels steeper. But often, the intensity of your pressure is an indicator of the magnitude of your purpose. God refines those He intends to use greatly. The deeper the calling, the deeper the preparation. What feels like a burden is often a sign that God is entrusting you with something bigger than you can imagine. Sometimes pressure comes not through circumstances, but through waiting. Waiting can be one of the most challenging forms of pressure because it forces you to confront doubts, silence, and the fear of the unknown. Yet waiting builds spiritual muscle. It teaches you to trust God's timing over your own. It teaches you to hold on to faith when nothing changes. And in that waiting, God works within you, shaping your attitude, adjusting your perspective, and developing the character you will need for the next level. Even the people who challenge you, misunderstand you, or oppose you can become part of the pressure God uses for your growth. They sharpen you, They push you closer to God. They reveal parts of your character that need healing or strengthening. What feels like opposition is often divine sandpaper smoothing away what cannot go with you into your breakthrough. Pressure is uncomfortable, but it is holy. It means God is preparing you. It means something is coming. It means you are being positioned for more. There comes a moment when everything you've walked through, every battle, every delay, every unanswered question, every quiet night of prayer begins to make sense. Not because you suddenly understand every detail, but because you begin to recognize the fingerprints of God woven through your journey. You realize that the seasons that felt like abandonment were actually seasons of preparation. The moments that felt like endings were actually divine beginnings. The pressures that nearly broke you were shaping you for the very breakthrough you've been waiting for. God has been closer to you than you realized. When you were discouraged, He was strengthening you. When you were uncertain, He was guiding you. When you felt empty, He was filling places within you that comfort alone could not reach. Every step, even the painful ones, was leading you toward the blessing He has already designed with your name on it. And now you stand on the edge of something new, something prepared, something promised, something powerful. Breakthrough doesn't always arrive with fanfare. Sometimes it comes softly like a gentle shift in your heart. Other times it comes suddenly like a door swinging open after years of waiting. But whenever it appears, it carries purpose, timing, and favor that only God could orchestrate. The same God who allowed the struggle is the God who will redeem it. The same God who saw your tears is the God who will replace them with joy. The same God who watched you endure pressure is the God who will bring you into a season of release and restoration. You have been strengthened for this moment. You have been refined for this season. You have been molded to carry blessings that once would have overwhelmed you. What once broke you will no longer shake you. What once intimidated you will no longer hold you back. You are stepping into a chapter where God's favor doesn't simply meet you. It surrounds you, guides you, and elevates you in ways you could never accomplish on your own. The breakthrough coming your way is not small. It is not accidental. It is not delayed. It is arriving exactly when God intends it to. All the waiting, all the stretching, all the questioning has positioned you for what is being released into your life. And when God opens this next door, it will not be fragile or uncertain. It will be firm, undeniable, and overflowing with purpose. You will not have to force it, chase it, or fear losing it. What God sends cannot be taken away. So lift your head, strengthen your faith, set your heart in expectation. You are not forgotten, not overlooked, not behind. You are right on time for what God is about to unfold. His favor is moving toward you, His hand is upon you, and His breakthrough is already aligning with your path. Something good, something divine, something long awaited is coming, and it is closer than you think.